Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Christina. I'm an occupational therapist and I work with individuals who are neurodiverse, and I started a series I have one video so far, so it'll be down in the description below, but I've started a series about body doubling, and the idea is that a lot of the times people who are neurodiverse and other people, but focusing on neurodiverse individuals, have a really hard time initiating tasks and getting those tasks done, whether it's because of sensory issues, executive dysfunctioning. There's lots of things. A lot of us don't have natural motivation to just do it, like Nike would say. So a lot of people benefit from body doubling, which is essentially just being physically with someone while you're doing a task to kind of keep you on track and accountable and motivated. So for those who don't have body double partners, whether you don't live at home with someone or you have a friend that's not available and you need to get some tasks done, this is video number 2 of body doubling with me. I'm going to do some laundry and prep my lunch, and hopefully that gives you the, parasocial relationship space where you can get some stuff done too. So whether that is something productive that you have to do, or you really want to do something that means a lot to you, like craft or read, and you just really can't get started, hopefully this helps, and I'll send you lots of love. Mwah! Let me know if you have any requests down below, and I'll see you very soon. Just popping in, we're getting to the halfway point and you are crushing it. I'm so proud of you if you came this far. Even if you are not going to hang on for much longer with your tasks, I hope that you found some pride and some joy in the amount that you did. I thought we would switch it up a little bit and do some Reddit stories and then maybe go back to some music. So if you want to put on music for this point, feel free. Otherwise, we are going to read about some wedding chaos. At my friend's tiny wedding reception, 30 guests, 2 years ago, at a beach campground near the highway, an invited married couple got very drunk and had loud sex in their tent with lights on and tent doors/windows open. Their tent faced the canopy and area of the dance floor, so every guest heard and saw. Everyone did their best to ignore it. Once the drunk couple were back on the dance floor, the wife started punching and slapping her husband for looking at another wedding guest. No weak tussling. She was physically kicking his ass. Guests asked the couple to relax/cool off in their tent. Many of us were not heavy drinkers and wanted a relaxing camping experience. The night was calm once the couple fell asleep in their tent. Around 10 p.m., the husband comes out of his tent and says he can't find his wife. Everyone, including the bride and groom, tries to find her. Around 2 a.m., cops arrive with the wife passed out in the back seat. She was found running, oh God. She was found running down the highway barefoot, crying with a bottle of champagne. They noticed she had a veil on and assumed correctly she was a part of the only wedding party on the beach. Needless to say, the bride and groom decided to limit contact with them after the wedding. So she stole the veil from the bride. That's kind of cringe. That's not too bad of a story, though. It's not about the bride and groom. All right, next story. I worked at a country club that was a popular wedding venue. There was one couple, groom's grandparents were members, and hosted the wedding at the CC's country club, I assume. The couple and the grandparents were a delight. Sweet, easygoing, just wanted an opportunity to celebrate with all of their loved ones with lots of good food and booze. Groom's mother, however, I guess the good attitude genes passed her up. Entitled, and nothing was good enough for her boy, including the bride. Yikes. Bride and groom tried to make her happy, upgrading appetizers to her favorites, asking for her songs to add to the DJ set list. But mom always seemed a little miffed. About a week before the wedding, the bride comes in to finalize the plans and drop off a package. She and the groom wrote a thank you note with $40 for each member of kitchen staff. That's really nice. You could tell just by looking at her that she had been crying all day. I pulled her aside, gave her a glass of water, asking if she was okay. She burst into tears again and told me what had happened. Trying to be a good daughter-in-law and bond with her soon-to-be mother-in-law, she asked the mother-in-law to go wedding/bridesmaid dress shopping and to the fittings. The final fitting happened the day before. Mother-in-law snapped a picture without the bride's knowledge and posted the image to social media, tagging the bride and groom. So now everyone attending the wedding and beyond, including the groom, has seen the wedding dress. One of the questions I also ask when doing wedding planning is if the bride and groom need a first look location before the ceremony, and they gave us a hard and fast no. No looking, no peeking until that moment coming down the aisle. I mean, they had wedding party photos and arrivals programmed, so there would be very little chance of accidental run-ins before the ceremony. I just wanted her to like me, just wanted my wedding to be a kick-ass party. Everyone having a good time, good food, booze, and to see the first look on my husband's face when I walked down the aisles. And now, everyone has seen the dress. One of our smart-ass dishwashers shrugs and says, "Get another dress." The bride first looked at him like he was crazy, but then her expression changed and she pulled out her phone and began making calls. The day of the wedding, mother-in-law was there as makeup and hair was done, and you could visibly see the bride trying to be pleasant to mother-in-law, but seething underneath, while mother-in-law looked smug and very pleased with herself. Bride shooed everyone out of the bridal suite as she changed to her gown, giggling and rolling her eyes good-heartedly. You've already seen this part. Everyone has. Haha. Go sit down and enjoy the rest of your day. About 30 minutes later, the bride heads down the aisle right on time in a brand new dress. Beautiful, fits her perfectly. She looked absolutely stunning. Audible gasp from the crowd, big happy grin on the groom's face, and mother-in-law looking like someone pooped in her cornflakes. Turns out one of her closest friends worked as a wig master for a local opera company and was very good friends with the head seamstress and head customer. She calls him to see if he'll ask a favor. He calls his coworkers, and 10 minutes later, she's heading to their office. After hearing her story and meeting her, They dropped everything for the week and got to sewing. She told no one about the new dress, not her maid of honor, not the groom, no one. The buttons were actually being sewn on as last touches were being done to her hair and veil. At the reception, the groom's aunt comes up to the bride and mother in law. That dress is amazing. I knew the picture on Facebook wasn't actually your wedding dress. I mean, who would do such a thing? Post a picture of the bride before the wedding in her wedding gown? That would be just awful. I mean, really, can you imagine? The bride told me she looked at her mother in law in the eye and said, I know, wouldn't that just be terrible? With all the shopping and fittings to ruin it just before the wedding? Bride said mother-in-law excused herself and avoided the entire wedding party for the rest of the night. Bride and groom looked like they had a blast all night, and the bride looked so amazing. I keep calling him a broom. The groom couldn't seem to keep his eyes off her. Good job, girl. That's nuts. Some people just need to be the center of attention. You know, you post something on Facebook, you're the center of attention. So I guess that makes sense. Let's see what else we can find. I was trying to find another one, and this one, get this, it's on Reddit. It's from 14 years ago. This one said I might need a drink just to get through this, but here it goes. So I thought we'd read this one. My wedding day started with the groomsmen and I at a liquor store buying a bottle of Jaeger. Okay. I took a couple of shots and was given a Xanax. I'd never taken a Xanax and down the entire bar. He'd never taken a Xanax, but then he's going to do some shots and take a Xanax on his wedding morning. Cool. No pre-planning. No thinking ahead. That's okay. At this moment, the ceremony is getting ready to start. I'm a tad loopy, but nothing noticeable. The ceremony goes well, and we're off to the reception. Before we go in, I smoke a bowl. That's weed, if people don't know. But also, this is a lot for a wedding day, I think. I'm not judging anyone for doing substances, but that's a lot going on. We eat and dance and everything is fun. Then at some point, after several more drinks, I go from feeling great and in control to completely tore up. This is when I start losing bits of what happened. My new wife is understandably upset that I'm so shit-faced and has me sit and chill out. Oh, that gives me so much cringe. Okay, I don't remember this, but there's some argument going on with the bridesmaids, and one of them apparently says that I should be marrying her. I suddenly come to standing outside in a parking lot from a slap to the face by some black woman. A small crowd is there asking me what the heck I was doing with her. Far out in the lot is the bridesmaid, and she's being shouted at and drives away. Apparently, I was standing up close next to her car. Maybe we were in the car too. I have no idea to this day what went down. So, did he black out and like hooked up with someone? I'm so confused. You might think this is pretty shitty, but it doesn't end here. My wife and I are driven to the hotel fighting the whole time. So we get in the room, and this is where I put her flowers and coffee. This is where I put her flowers and coffee and proceed to tear the room apart. This is a nice place, and we are many stories up. Oh my god. I pull my ring off and throw it out the window. Keep in mind, I don't recall any of this. Next thing I remember is walking downtown late in the night in my tux. I call my dad and he picks me up. I also end up having to buy most of my tux from Damages. It looks like I got jumped into a gang. You mean jumped by a gang? It looks like I got jumped by a gang. Buttons, cufflinks are gone, holes in the knees, and snags. I pay for it as fast as I can to get out there and forego any more embarrassment. But before I can get out the tuck shop door, the lady says, "You left this in your pocket," and hands a condom to me. The end. Whoa, there was so many holes in that story. What is even happening? They're still together. You know what? Okay, cool. I don't know. Anyway, don't experiment with like new substances on your wedding day. That seems like too much. Okay. About 4 hours before my wedding, my groomsmen and I were finishing up making gift baskets for the wedding guests when disaster struck. One of the groomsmen was awkwardly attempting to play with my parents' dog by rubbing his hands all over the dog's face. The guy doesn't own a dog. And petting his face close to the dog's. Well, the dog, we'll call him Killer, didn't like this and whined loudly as he tried to pull away. My buddy grabbed Killer again and pulled their faces close together and started doing the face rub game again. And again, Killer yelped and pulled away. I'm already hating this because I already know the dog is not feeling like its boundaries are listened to. And when that happens to my cat, she's not happy. And I don't even do that this aggressive. So my buddy couldn't get the hint and pulled Killer's face back up to his. And right as the words "leave the dog alone" started to pass my lips, I heard a deafening bark and I looked up to see my buddy on the ground with blood everywhere. He was really embarrassed and said that he'd just put a band-aid on it. Then he smiled and revealed to me that his lip was, oh my God, his lip was totally severed from his nostril all the way down through his lip. His nostril was also no longer, ew, oh, I'm so sorry, okay. They went to the ER. I don't want to read anymore. This gets so graphic. Anyway, too long didn't read. The dog was okay. So was the man. I really need to know, like, what happened. Did they just not go to the wedding? Okay. Well, this is craziness. Don't listen to your dog's boundaries, or listen if you don't know the dog, like if it's your friend's dog, ask them and listen to them when they say don't to not do stuff, because that could have gotten so much worse. I'm not gonna read the rest of the story because it was very graphic, but we'll go to one more. While planning our wedding, my wife and I spent a lot of time figuring out the wedding party's dance music to enter to. We had different songs play for our parents, for our bridesmaids, and the groomsmen, for me and for her. My choice for music was John Williams' Superman score because it never fails to cheer me up and pump me up. We had an outdoors venue, and the aisle was a long concrete path that led from the building where we were hidden from our guests all the way to the area where everyone was seated, curved to the right halfway through. During the rehearsal, I decided to take it up a notch. I can't just walk to the Superman score. I should run it with my arm raised a la Superman. It was going to be awesome. I tested it during rehearsal and everything was great. Fast forward to the next day, and here's what I remember of the events. The wedding party stands together by the building, hidden from the guests, waiting for the coordinator to send us out. The music starts, and our moms go first, along with my wife's niece. A few late guests rush past us and are told by the coordinator to wait to the side of the path since we've already started. The Superman score starts up. It's my turn. I wait a few seconds for the right note, and off I go. Arm raised. Oh, God. Arm raised. I'm running down the aisle, picking up speed. As I reach the curve, I notice the late guest standing there out the corner of my eyes, and am ever so briefly distracted. Then suddenly it happens. My dress shoes don't have as good a grip as the sneakers I was wearing the previous day. I lose my footing, and for a split second, I'm airborne. Then gravity wins. Turns out I'm no Superman, and I hit the concrete pavement hard. The next few seconds felt like they lasted forever. The nearby guests rush over. My best friend rushes over. People help me up. I'm stunned. My hand hurts. My side hurts. My face hurts. People ask if I'm okay. And then my dart. Oh my gosh. My tongue darts forward, and I realize something is very wrong. I just broke both of my front teeth. No, not on the wedding day. Oh my God. Teeth freak me out. I don't like it. I'm in shock. My best man is talking to me, but I'm totally hazy. And then I hear that the music is still going. It's Superman, and I snapped back to where I was. So I raised both I raised both arms in a victory salute and finished my run like a boss. And then we went on and had what people later described as one of the best wedding ceremonies ever. Oh my goodness. No, 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 no. That is too much. Okay, we probably have time for one more. Let's see. One more story. Let's read one last story and then finish up our task. I'm so proud of you if you've come this far, if you've finished all the things you want to do, if you've gotten a good dent into them. I hope that you feel very accomplished. And thanks for joining me as I task. Hopefully it helped you task. Let's read one more story. I went to a wedding that my wife and I said will not last more than 2 years. The wedding was in the back of the bride's house. They had all the chairs and wedding arch set up outside. They set up a plastic tarp running down to the aisle to walk on. Just before the wedding starts, there are darkening clouds appearing. This should have been a side to move the wedding inside, but they invited too many people.
Just as they started the wedding, it begins to rain lightly. The father of the bride is walking the bride down the lane and slips on the wet tarp and falls on his ass. The bride is now at the front. It's raining harder. People start to cover up with whatever they have. Some people start to get up. The bride turns around and says to everyone, "This is my wedding. No one is going to ruin it. You all better sit down." We all sit back down and the wedding resumes. It's now raining pretty good. The grass is now turning into mud. Okay, I had rain on my wedding day, but not mud making rain. That is crazy. A few ladies in the crowd, and the bridesmaids' makeup is now running down their faces. Oh no. My wife has taken my jacket as a cover from the rain. They finish the vows and kiss, and then everyone runs to the house and garage to get out of the rain. Oh, remember how I said the grass was now mud? Yeah, lots of people slipped and fell in the mud on the way to the house. Oh my god, I'm like reliving my own wedding with mud. It's terrible. We got to the house. Many people look terrible from the running makeup, muddy clothing, and they're soaking wet. A few of the women had to cover their chests and waists due to wet clothing becoming see-through. Most of the men were loaning their coats to the ladies to cover up. Dirty looks all around. The wedding cake was outside and now brought in. The rain made the decorations on the cake turn all runny and it looks horrible. Ugh. The texture of that, ew. The bride and the groom begin cutting the cake and feeding each other. They smashed the cake pieces into each other's faces, then began a food fight with each other. Inside the house? Not inside the house. My friend's wife got hit in the face with purple icing on her face and dress. The priest got hit with white and yellow icing on his robe. There was nothing left of the cake to serve. Food being served was still frozen in the middle of the food, and the stuff that was not frozen was burnt. The dessert was supposed to be the cake, but like I said before, there was nothing left. There was a goodie bag that people got on the way out. It had a lollipop, a coupon for ice cream cones at McDonald's, a pencil with the bride and groom's name on it, and Halloween-sized M&Ms. My wife, whose dress was filthy, her makeup was out of whack, and her hair was a mess, said to me that she does not want to see those people again for 6 months. She was so mad. The couple divorced 11 months later when the groom came home from work and found his wife getting double teamed by two guys. Oh, okay. Well, that was an ending. That was quite the hell of an ending. Anyway, thanks for coming. Hopefully your wedding is way better than these people's weddings, and I will continue to try to change up these videos a little bit to see if they will be helpful for anyone. Hopefully you have a wonderful evening, and I'll play some music to let you head out.